This is Mike, NoStressMike.com. I want to talk about three-man militias. And this is going to be about what you're going to be coming up against. Okay, remember, as a three-man militia, you are fighting for your family, your neighbors, and your community. Okay, the people that you are coming up against, they are not, and you're doing all this in your own environment, your controlled environment. These people that are coming against you are out of their environment. Okay, they are part of an organized or unorganized force. Either way, they are dependent on some type of support system to keep them going. Okay, any police or military, if they don't get a paycheck, they are not police or military. They're renegades. Once the military stops getting their paycheck, they're not military. They still have the uniforms, they still have their guns, but they're not military. Because like I say, these people will only be part when they get the benefits of being a policeman or in the military. In other words, they have their support system, they get paid, they get food, they get everything that they need. Once any one part of these things stop, they've lost their army or police. So people join the police and military for a certain degree of security. They will be fed, they will be housed, have a roof over their head. Their needs will be taken care of, whether it's food, medical needs, or whatever. Their families will be taken care of, and they will have a pension, and like I say, they have that sense of security. So without that, they are not police and military. So what I'm saying is their loyalties are bought and paid for. And when it's any part of that isn't, you've heard the saying, an army travels on their stomach. And in other words, when you stop feeding them, you're going to lose your army. So any part of this, if they're going to lose their loyalty. They think that their families are being taken care of. If their families aren't, then you've lost their loyalty. An example of that is during Katrina in New Orleans. The police didn't show up, some of them, because they were scared that their families would be in danger. So they didn't show up. If there was some way to ensure the safety of their families, oh, they would have been there just lickety-split. That'd been no problem. But that was realistic enough. They knew that there was no way there was any guarantee of the safety of their families. So they had just reason not to show up. And the same thing, if the military's not getting anything to eat, they get hungry, then you've lost them. That goes a lot on a lot of militaries in old days. As you retreat, you burn the fields, you burn the homes, you burn everything as you retreat. So the enemy thinks that they're forcing you back, and really their supply chain gets thinner and thinner the more they advance. And then eventually their supply chain won't be able to keep up with them. And then it's another thing why they would attack railroads. Like during the World Wars, they'd blow up railroads and stuff to keep the supplies from getting to the front lines. So once you don't have the supplies, you've lost your military. And same thing with the police. Now, there is a difference when it comes to an organized type gangs and stuff. But not a whole lot of difference, but there is a difference. Now, their loyalties is as long as whoever holds this group together makes sure that they can pillage and rape and steal and get food and have shelter, they will stay in that group. And that's why it's going to be hard to find free-ranging groups. I say when it comes to like 50, I can't even imagine me taking care of a group of 50 fighting men just by you know, going from one community to the next community. That's the only way you can do it, is go in there and you have to fight your way in and take everything that they have and all this kind of stuff, because they're not going to welcome you. So, and I made a video once before talking about if it was me, it would probably be maybe 8, 10 at the most, and that'd be like 2 carloads, and just trying to house and take care of that many people would be a pretty good chore right there. So I would think most of the gangs, roving gangs, are going to be small in numbers. And like I say, when these people come, they're going to be armed when they come to your area. So, and you don't really, I say, like military. Once they run out of gas, if they don't have the support, they're not going to have all the equipment that you would expect the military to have. And police, the same thing. They won't have everything, you know, they won't have the Humvees, they won't have all this stuff. But even when they do have all that stuff, it doesn't mean you need to bow under. Don't forget, you are responsible for your community. This military, the police, or these roving gangs, they don't give a damn about your community. That's a fact. So any decisions are going to have to be made by whoever's in charge of your community. And the military, police, or gangs will go along with it. Because it's the same thing, it's not to their interest to be killed or injured. And so don't think just because they are military, police, or you're outnumbered, a big gang and stuff like that, don't think that you have to give in. You can hold your ground, and you can make it, if at the very worst, you can make it very expensive for them to take your position. But if you've done your planning properly, it is your community. And if you've done your planning properly and you've prepared properly, there's no way, no organized force can take your community. You will have to allow them to have it. Kind of like the United States. We've allowed our United States government to go to hell. We've allowed our United States government to make bad decisions, and we are paying for it as the people. But now, when it's down to the small communities, the militias, you can hold your own. I say 3-man militias because each 3-man militia can specialize in different fields. And together, you can organize quick, and you can put up a hell of a fighting force. Like I said before, even militaries, our great United States military, when it goes into a foreign country, into a foreign place, the first thing we do is find the militia leaders and work out deals with the militia leaders. We don't want to go up against the militia. The great United States military does not want to go up against a good militia. Make your militia good. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.